So I wanted to talk to people about the marketing side of GDPR and what we need to consider on that side of things. I work with around 100 SMEs, and it's really interesting the different levels of interest that SME and business owners have in GDPR. Some of them don't know anything about it. Some of them literally go, GDPR, what are we talking about? And other people are coming to me and saying, right, I've got my procedures in place, can you run through them and check that from a marketing element I'm actually adhering to everything I need to. By being in a room and attending things like this gets you one step towards being GDPR compliant. So when the ICO come and knock on anybody's door and you can say you've been going to conferences, going to events, been learning about GDPR, that's a step in the right direction, because the amount of businesses out there that are just pretty much ignoring it and relying on old systems and old practices. I imagine they're the ones the ICO are going to be hassling more and putting more pressure on. So by being here is a great start. I've only got 15 minutes. I think we're probably overrunning anyway, so I'll try and whip through it as quickly as I can. But essentially, I want to cover what are the main impacts on marketing, what you shouldn't be doing. We all love a kind of case study of where people have done things wrong, so we'll have a look at a couple of them. What you should be doing, procedures to put in place, and then practical tips to help you comply with GDPR from the marketing aspect. So how does it impact marketing, GDPR? I guess we're all bored of these text messages that are coming through all the time saying, have you had PPI? Do you want a new gas safety certificate, or whatever it be? And emails from, I get them all the time, do you want to buy a new paper from a new printing company? No, I don't. I'm happy with what I've got. Where did you get my details from? Why are you emailing the hell out of my inbox? And no matter how many times I put it into junk, it still ends up in my inbox again. And it drives you mad. And that's what GDPR, from a marketing aspect, is about. It's about getting away from that horribleness that we're in. And we're going to move forward and have a much better system where we're only receiving the communications that we said we wanted to receive. It's going to be much better moving forward. The key impacts, they're not really going to impact, I don't think, from a GDPR point of view, too much across sort of experiential marketing. So you're out on the street stuff. At the end of the day, if you're doing something wrong and you're marketing out on the street, you'll have trading standards having a go at you, or what you want to do. From a postal marketing point of view, there's an expense involved in that. So from a marketeer's point of view, I can't spam every letterbox in the country because it costs me a lot of money to do it. From a telesales point of view, that costs me money as well. I need to put people on the end of the phone and be ringing around. It's money. The email side of things is where GDPR, from a marketing aspect, is really going to affect. That's what is getting abused massively at the moment. So the key impacts on marketing. So it's got to be obvious what data is going to be used for when you obtain that data. You can't just go and say, hey, I want your email address, or put in a pot on a reception in a hotel now and say, drop your business card in there and enter a competition. You have to give people a proof of what you're going to be doing with that data and how you're going to market to them moving forwards. You've got controllers and processors of marketing information. So all the databases you've got, if you're the business owner and that's your data, you're the controller, but then you've got the processors. So all of the marketing agencies you use, the freelancers and everything, there's two sides of it. You need to make sure that your data is only being given to the right people and they're using it in the right way. You can't just have a big database that everyone's sharing left, right and centre. At the end of the day, it's the controllers of the ICO will come knocking on the door and saying, what are you doing with the data? Who are you letting see your data? Legitimate interest. This is an area where there's been a lot of discussion, and Laurie touched on that as well a little bit earlier. What is legitimate interest? I mean, is legitimate interest the fact that I bought something 10 years ago and it might be running out, so they're going to market to me again now? Or is legitimate interest I bought something last week and it might catch fire in my living room and I need to know that it's going to blow up? There's a real vague line there, but you need to be confident in when you're communicating with your database about why you are believing legitimate interest is relevant to send this information to that database. There's obviously the right to be forgotten and making sure you can take people off your database, but then from a legal point of view, keep the information for a certain amount of time. And personal details versus business details. This has been a real bugbear of mine across the last 6 months, is really getting from the ICO what the difference is between how I engage with personal databases compared with business databases. So if I've got an email address in my system and it's joeblogs@yahoo.com, what can I do to it compared to joeblogs@bt.com if I know they work for BT? I've been trying to get it in writing for ages. I finally got it a couple of weeks ago. They've basically given the advice in writing, which I don't know if it actually complies when I read the GDPR statement, but I've got a copy of it if anybody wants it. It basically says if it's a personal email address, you've got to have proof of positive opt-in to be marketed to. If it's a business email address, then it's much easier to approach them from a legitimate interest angle, as long as you have on the bottom of your communications that you are communicating with them for X, Y, Z reason, you believe there's a legitimate interest, and here's the option to unsubscribe. That makes a big difference from a marketeer's point of view, because if you've got a database of 100,000 people and you were thinking I've got to email all 100,000 and get positive opt-in from them, well, if I can take 90,000 of them, because I know they're B2B addresses, I've only got 10,000 to worry about. Suddenly I've still got 90% of my database. So that was a real sort of interesting revelation I got from the ICA a couple of weeks ago. How to fall foul of GDPR. So here's an email example. So Honda sent an email out to 300,000 individuals, and they basically said, hi, you bought a car 2 years, 11 months ago, and here's our new model. It's come out. Your warranty's about to expire. We want to sell you a new car. Now, they received some complaints from the public and said, I didn't sign up to Honda's database. I signed up to the dealership's database. Although the software was supplied by Honda to the dealerships, Joe Bloggs that bought the Honda Civics or whatever it was didn't sign up to receive from Honda. They agreed to receiving from Evans Hallshaw or Inchcape Honda, whatever it may be. That was the person that they'd given information to and signed up. Honda sent out the email saying buy a new car, and it wasn't from the company that individuals expected it to come from. Honda argued that it was legitimate interest, that it was about to expire, but the ICO upheld the complaint and kind of said, no, Honda, you're not doing that, here's a £13,000 fine. So that's an example of someone sharing a database with a connection they shouldn't be doing. Flybe. Now, you might have seen a lot of emails coming out lately to you that basically say, hi, you're on our database, we want you to confirm that we still want to email to you after the 25th, because they're trying to get you as a positive opt-in because of your personal email address after the 25th of May. What Flybe did is they basically sent an email to their whole database, regardless of whether people had opted out in the past, and said, hey, we just want to check that your marketing preferences are still correct moving forward, even if you'd opted out. So basically said, you're opted out of our marketing communications, do you want to remain opted out? And they put a competition on the bottom of it as well. That is completely wrong. You cannot communicate with people and say, you opted out last year, I just want to check that you still want to be opted out. It's so against the legislation. The fine was 70,000 that the ICO gave out for that, and that number is tiny compared to what the fines will be in place following May the 25th. It was talking 20 million euros. So obtaining permission. How are you going to obtain permission from them personal databases to know that you can communicate with them moving forward? I've got a couple of examples here that I think people have done it pretty well. So Sainsbury's. It's about having so a positive opt-in is obviously ticking a box to say that you want to opt in to moving forward, but keeping it separate to your terms and conditions. So what Sainsbury's do here, when you sign up for their online groceries, you agree that they'll try and deliver within the hour slot and you might get a replacement item, blah, blah, blah. You tick say that, and then you've got your contact preferences. So yes, I'd like to hear from Sainsbury's about offers moving forward, or no, I don't want to hear about set offers from Sainsbury's moving forward. You've got to keep it separate to the general terms and conditions. What they don't quite do right, I think, here, is detail how they're going to communicate with you. So what I'm doing with all of my clients is putting a form onto their website that basically says, we would like to communicate with you moving forward, offers, marketing, packages, etc. How would you like to be communicated with? If someone ticks the postal option, then it opens up with a little box that says put your address in. If they tick telephone number, it opens up with a telephone number. So you clearly know how you communicate with people. By grouping them all together, I think you'll find that more people will opt out because they think that they're going to be phoned up every 5 minutes. Whereas really what you want them to sign up to your email database, and then you can grow that database and go forward and turn them into telephone opt-ins down the line by running competitions, etc. Manchester United, you probably, if anybody watches football, you'll have seen this all over Old Trafford. Yeah? So they did have this thing where by the 31st of January, you must either opt in or opt out of marketing communications moving forward. They've probably got a 20, 30 million database that they think, great, this is an opportunity to turn it down to 500,000, but there'll be really good quality contacts that I've got in there. So opt in or out by the 31st. It obviously didn't go very well because still when you watch Old Trafford at the moment, all the banners around the edges says stay united, opt into our database by visiting our website. But the key is that you got entered into a competition regardless of whether you opted in or you opted out. You cannot penalise somebody by them not opting into your database moving forward. That's a really good way that it's done, and lots of other companies have followed that format. So, new procedures to put in place ahead of the 25th of May regarding marketing. So, marketing database access. Don't let anybody in your organisation access that marketing database. It needs to be marketeers that have got access to the database. It's fairly obvious. Sharing of marketing databases. I run a marketing agency, and you'd be amazed the amount of business owners that will happily put 100,000 contacts into an Excel spreadsheet and send it through to an email address. And they don't know what that email address is. In my case, I've got hello at Hyped Marketing. If someone sends an email to that, it duplicates it 10 times out to the team. Each person's probably got 3 devices they're viewing their emails. So business owner that sent his own database of 100,000 contacts and suddenly turned into 30 versions of that on different mobile devices all over the southeast whenever it is at a meeting anywhere. Really think about how you share that data and send it in a safe way. Splitting personal and business contacts out. From what I've heard from the ICO in that communications in the last couple of weeks, don't go losing your business contacts because you think that they need a positive opt-in. I'm sure Laurie will talk to you more about, could talk to you more about the legal side of that and where the line is actually drawn between a business and a personal. What we're recommending to our clients is that take a database, take out the obvious personal ones, try and get them into a positive opt-in and carry on communicating with your business contacts under legitimate interest, providing it is legitimately interested to them, and obviously have the option to unsubscribe. Obtaining positive consent from the current database, just for the personal. Have an onboarding of information procedure. So I think what a lot of people are worrying about is what they're doing with their current databases and not how they onboard people moving forward. If you're going to put all this information, these processes and work into getting your database fixed now, don't find yourself 6 months down the line when you've got a bunch of new contacts and they don't have a positive opt-in. Put it on your website. If someone gives you a business card at an event, you still need to get them to positively opt in to your marketing communications. So have a process where they receive an email that says, hi, I met you last week at an event. Click here to go to our website, to opt into our marketing comms, and then you can send them your communications moving forward. The reason for communication and why it is relevant. Make sure you keep a copy of that in your CRM systems. So when you send out an email, why that went to these people on the list. And put it on the bottom of the email as well. It doesn't have to be big on there, but just in small text at the bottom, you're receiving this email because we believe it's a legitimate interest angle for you. And maximise the potential of social media. So it's no coincidence that LinkedIn have suddenly increased their employee force in the UK. They are all over this. They know that their terms and conditions are getting changed all the time, and their terms and conditions bypass a lot of the GDPR regulations. When you sign up to LinkedIn, you agree to anybody in that network contacting you. So social media, especially on LinkedIn, from a B2B point of view, is going to be growing massively as a communications tool moving forward. Really try and take advantage of that. So in summary, I think it's not something to ignore. We need to be engaging with our customers in the correct way. This is what I'm really excited about. It's gone are the days of just spamming everybody. We're going to be really able to use our databases properly. I send out, I don't know, 2 million emails a month, and a click-through rate of something like 1.5% is exciting when you can report it back. We're not. Get your databases sorted. I want to go back reporting on 15% click-through rates, 20% click-through rates. Really engage with the right people. All them people that haven't opened your emails for years, stop sending them. Stop paying your agencies to send communications to people that aren't going to open an email. The fines are big, but the negative PR of falling foul is going to be more influential than the fines, I think. Processes in place to make sure you market the right way. Social media is going to be big. And the regulations are going to impact marketing activities for the good. This is massively positive. I think we all should be jumping on board, sorting our database out, and leaving the competition behind for the people that aren't attending events like this and aren't listening to things. That's me on marketing and GDPR.